All right, we are at that time of year again, aren't we? It's the perfect moment to ask a really important question. We're going to break down exactly how to make these last 30 days of the year the most powerful you've ever had, all based on some incredible work from Dan Martell. So let's just dive right in.
Okay, so let's just start with a quick gut check. Seriously, are you? Be totally honest with yourself. It's a tough one, I know, because for so many of us, it feels like we just live the same year over and over, kind of wondering why nothing's really changing. Well, Martell argues that this exact feeling, that feeling of being stuck, that's the fuel you need for what we're about to talk about.
Because here's the whole idea, right? The last 30 days of the year are not for coasting. They are a massive window of opportunity. This is your chance to build so much momentum that you don't just, walk into the new year. You literally launch into it as a completely different person.
So the big question is, how do we actually do it? Well, it all starts right here with step 1, finding your focus. And listen, this is not about adding more stuff to your plate. It's actually the opposite. It's about aggressively cutting away everything that doesn't matter, especially when everyone else is slowing down.
You know, what I love about this is just how simple it is. Most people fail because they're trying to juggle like 10 different goals at once, and their brain is just constantly switching context, which is exhausting and super inefficient. So Martell's fix is brilliant. Pick one major goal, just one. Then stack 2 simple daily habits that directly, and I mean directly, support that one goal. And here's the hardest part. You have to learn to say no to everything else.
And this is where he introduces this awesome concept he calls separation season. See, this isn't about grinding yourself into the dust all year round. No way. It's about being smart, being strategic, and finding those moments when everyone else hits the brakes.
And this just explains it perfectly. Think about it like driving on a highway late at night. There's no traffic, right? No distractions. You can just put your foot down and cover a massive amount of ground. Well, summertime and the end of your holidays, those are the highways at night for your goals. While everyone else is coasting, you accelerate, you floor it, and you create a huge gap between you and the competition.
So how do you actually make this happen? 3 simple tactics. First, that first 90 minutes of your day, that is sacred. Protect it. Use it for deep, focused work on that number 1 goal. Second, skip the late-night parties. Don't trade tomorrow's progress for a few hours of distraction tonight. And third, use your weekend to get ahead. Pick one day, Saturday or Sunday, and just double down on one of your key habits.
Okay, now let's talk about step 2, because this is how you make that focus stick. Focus is great, but it needs a system to actually survive. And that system? It's built on daily rituals, actions that you do so often they just become automatic.
So let's be super clear about what non-negotiable actually means. It's not a suggestion. It's not a nice to have. It is a hard and fast rule. Martell's framing is just perfect for this. If the day ends in DAY, you do it. That's it. No days off. This isn't about being intense all the time. It's about creating an unbreakable rhythm of success.
And to make it less intimidating, he breaks it down into 3 core areas. So what's one simple thing you can do for your body every single day? Maybe it's just a 10-minute walk. For your mind, maybe read 10 pages of a book. For your business or your career, what about one single outreach email or 15 minutes of learning a new skill? The key here is to start so small it feels easy and then just be incredibly consistent.
All right, so now we're going to pivot a little bit. We've talked about offense, building good habits. Now let's talk about defense, because that's only half the battle. The other half is systematically getting rid of all the things that are holding you back.
And this quote, wow, it just cuts right to the heart of it. Oh, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I'll start on Monday. We all know them, right? They're just comfortable stories we tell ourselves so we don't have to act. But guess what? Comfort doesn't lead to growth.
So how do you fight back? It's a 3-step process. First, you say the excuse out loud. You give it a name. Second, you challenge it head on. Ask yourself, does believing this lie actually serve me? And third, and this is the most important part, if that feeling of fear or doubt is still there, you act anyway. Courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about doing the thing even when you're scared.
And this right here is a massive, massive mindset shift. We always think success is about adding more habits, more tasks. But so often, the biggest wins you'll ever get come from subtraction, from cutting out the things that are secretly killing your time and your energy.
Martell has a great name for these.
Time assassins. And just look at this list. I mean, just turning off your phone notifications can buy you back hours of focused time. Identifying your vices, anything you feel guilty about the next day and cutting them out. Being deliberate about who you spend time with to avoid those energy vampires. Choosing sleep over late nights. And learning that the word no is a complete sentence. Every single one of these you cut is a major victory.
Okay, this brings us to the final step, and this is the one that pulls it all together. This is all about turning 30 days of focused action into a permanent change. It's about creating momentum that's basically unstoppable.
This slide shows the psychological loop that really creates that lasting change. Check this out. You start by getting a small win, and you celebrate it, no matter how tiny it seems. That little celebration builds your belief in yourself, and when you stack enough belief, it actually starts to change your identity. And once your identity shifts, once you start seeing yourself as a person who works out, for example, the actions just become automatic. You don't have to force yourself to do them anymore. It's just who you are.
And the secret ingredient to making this whole loop work? Measurement. You have to track your progress. As the great Peter Drucker said, what you measure will get managed. Whether you're tracking your steps, your revenue, or pages read, tracking makes you aware of your wins. It gives you the proof you need to build that belief in yourself.
Now, I think this is a really beautiful point. Sharing your progress. It's not about bragging. Not at all. It's about creating public accountability that locks in your commitment. But more than that, your story, your struggles, and your wins could be the exact thing someone else needs to start their own journey. You basically go from hurting to healing yourself to helping other people.
And this right here is the final, most crucial message of all. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for the new year. Start right now. Martell uses this great analogy of a plane taking off. It uses the most fuel in those first few minutes just to get off the ground. That initial push requires the most energy, so give yourself that gift and start today.
So really the only question left is the one right here on the screen. The plan is laid out for you. The time is now. Who are you going to choose to become in the next 30 days?